What about your latest thoughts on Syria and Iran, which you talked about on Monday and previously in Los Angeles? The Daily Telegraph, which I'm aware is not a new Labour House organ, but nevertheless had an editorial, rousing editorial, which said this. It said, "This approach in which two countries once branded by the Bush White House as unambiguously evil miraculously become part of the solution defies any credible logic except that of ignominious desperation." Can it possibly work to get them involved?
Yeah, but you see, this is where, if people would pay attention to what is actually being said rather than what they think might have been said or what they want to have been said, we'd be better off. First of all, I don't think Syria and Iran, incidentally, are in precisely the same position. Their interests are not the same in the region. And I think there are very different considerations that apply in respect of each country. However, what is absolutely clear, and this is what we've said all the way through, is that if, for example, Iran wants a different relationship with the United States of America or with the European Union, with the West, then it's got to make sure that it's abiding by its international obligations in respect of this nuclear weapons issue. It's got to stop supporting terrorism in the region, and it's got to reach out and help solve the problems of the region rather than be part of the problem of the region. And let me make one thing absolutely clear. I do not intend any message other than one of absolute strength in relation to Iran, which is to say...
Not appeasement, as they also say.
It is completely absurd to say that. On the contrary, what I'm saying is very, very clear indeed. If you reject the way forward that we are setting out, if instead of playing a part in helping the region, in supporting peace, you support terrorism, you act in breach of your international obligations, then it is our task to stand up to you. On the other hand, if it is the case that you want to be part of a constructive solution in the Middle East, the door is open to you. It's your choice. And the whole point about what I was saying, both in respect of Syria and Iran, is to say, because part of this is actually explaining ourselves properly to the region, we have to go out there, ourselves and the Americans, and say, we are not against you because we want, we believe that we should decide who governs Iran or we should decide who governs Syria. What we're saying to you is very, very clear. If you are prepared to be part of the solution, there is a partnership available to you. But at the moment, and this is particularly so in respect of what Iran is doing in supporting terrorism throughout the Middle East, in acting in breach of its nuclear weapons obligations, you are behaving in such a way that makes such a partnership impossible. And so really what we're doing is saying, this is the strategic choice, but don't go out and try and persuade people in the region that we are somehow hostile to you because we're against the Iranian people or we're against the Syrian people. We're not. What we're doing is laying out the terms upon which we can be either people who work constructively together or alternatively face isolation.
We'll take a break there if we may, and we'll come rushing back.